Coffee Desk Studio in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Welcome to the I See Hope Empowering Positive Change podcast. I am Lori Lorenz, human energy engineer and your host for today's episode, Destiny Updates with Wes Hamilton. We are talking about week 16 and mindset self-awareness during COVID-19. Our co-host and featured speaker today, Wes Hamilton, is a master numerologist and chief spiritual officer for Core Passion Inc. He provides insight, guidance, and spiritual support. He reveals how ancient mathematics connects to timelines, showing us where and when to focus our time and energy. Welcome, Wes.
Hi, welcome to week 17. Yes, we're all enjoying each other at home, waiting for the grass to grow so I can go out and ride my John Deere.
Yay. And you have a serious John Deere too. You can, get some mileage on that thing.
Oh yeah, I've had that for years. I've even got the hats that go with it. And yeah, that's growing up on a farm, you got to keep that energy of the farm in my soul and in my blood. So
yeah, for those of you who may not be familiar with John Deere, the colors are green and yellow.
Correct.
Yes.
It's a standard piece of equipment for any farm.
Yay. Yeah, and
I have a half-acre farm here. I have, plenty of grass to cut.
Yes. And I'm looking out my window too, and the trees are starting to bud. And it's like, oh no, here comes tree allergy season.
Oh yeah, you got that going on.
Yeah, that's all right. But the ice is almost out up north. That's a big deal when ice out happens, guys.
Yeah, no kidding. Yes, when I had a cabin, that would be the big weekend.
Yes.
Put the boats in the water.
Yes. Every region has their own coming of age springtime situation. So that's good.
Yeah.
We're in week 16, Wes. What is this about?
Well, week 16, according to Pythagoras, is a time where we got to learn to trust ourselves, trust the news we hear. Is this flu bug, as they call it, real? At least Governor Wallace is saying, well, let's open up the golf course and let's open up the rifle range. So at least you'll be able to hit some balls and shoot your gun, get some of that energy out this next few weeks. And I'm not sure how social distancing is going to work with golf, because part of most golfers is the 19th hole, where you get to talk about every shot that you took and where it could have gone better and what you should have done different. So that socializing, processing your game, I'm not sure how that's going to work. And if the 19th hole is not available, that's for you that don't play golf, that's the bar. Why go? Chase the ball around the field.
Oh, I don't think people will give it up. They'll find a way, because that's part of like fishing. If you can't exaggerate about the fish you caught,
yeah,
what are you going to do? And like on a Zoom window, I can only have this big of a fish when it's really this big.
Yeah.
Muskies can get that big, really.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can.
So as we move into this particular week, we've got to remember that we've got mindset this month. And mindsets are attitude, our behaviors, our default comments, our default, responses to the things that happen. So without becoming aware of our mindset, we're really challenged to make a shift in our reality. Mm-hmm. And this whole year is about shifting our reality because things are happening. And mindset, that's the key factor. Lori and I have been watching Gaia TV, and Joe Dispenza has been doing an amazing job teaching us about the science behind mindset. And there's like 12, 15 little half-hour videos, and it's pretty amazing how the science of it helps us understand and maybe give permission that it's more than just sitting quietly and waiting for 30 minutes to go by. You're actually doing some things with your mind. And when you shift the patterns in your brain, the little channels where information goes through and creates a new reality, you actually can create your new reality. And that's the process I've been using for years with people to get them into a new reality, a new life, is to shift their mindset, because we don't even know we have a mindset. We just show up. That's who we are. That's what we believe. That's our point of view. So
I have a question for you.
yeah.
As I'm listening to mindset and point of view and how you think your thoughts, another word comes up in my mind, and it's attitude.
Yeah.
Everyone says, have a good attitude and good things will happen. So
Right.
how's mindset different than attitude?
Well, attitude has a continuum energy like everything else. So if you have a happy attitude, like every day is an amazing day, that's a really fun mindset to move into the future with. But if you have a mindset that's at the other end of the continuum, that every day is a bad day, some are worse than others, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're just all victims of whatever, the government or the economy, or that attitude can kind of drive you down the rabbit hole. So mindset is about where do you want to be on that continuum with your attitude if you want to create yourself a happy new reality.
Nice. So there are a lot of different pieces that make up your mindset. And how do we discover what we've got in our mindset, bookshelf of things?
Well, that's the tricky part. And I would say most people don't even think like that, but it's self-awareness. Just now that you got plenty of time to sit home, you've watched all the movies, and you're even tired of the Christmas movies that are going on right now with Netflix. So what is self-awareness? And I believe self-awareness is looking at yourself in the mirror, taking an inventory about who you are, what you really want. Are you a creative person? Do you create your reality? Are you a reactive person that deals with things whenever they come along? And we're part of everything. We're part of reactive and creative. But I love the way the patterns of the universe are tracked with numerology, because last year, that whole year, we were learning how to be creative. Every month was looking at different ways to find joy in your life. And I think we could do well if we posted last year's forecast, because this year we got to find joy again. It's been wiped clean. We don't even remember what joy looked like. So last year was preparing us for this year's catastrophe. But unless we go back and look, did we really find joy? Did we create it? We're going to have a challenge shifting our attitude, because I think most people that I've talked to in the last few weeks are sitting and waiting for this to be done. And that's not the purpose of this.
Yes, the purpose is to do the work that you need to do when it's quiet, and you have all the time you need to do it. This is a gift, right?
Yeah, and that old saying, don't look that gift horse in the mouth. It's try not to judge this thing. It's not fun. There's a lot of people that get sick, a lot of people that get, the end of the world for them, they die. But if you look at some of the statistics, there's more people die from car accidents and craziness, snowmobiling and scuba diving, all that stuff doesn't even come close to what's happening now. And I know we got to monitor our social reactions and interventions right now, because this little bug does move from one person to another. I saw a funny thing on probably Facebook a few days ago. One of our more famous actors, he's got this puzzled look on his face. And the question was, you mean there's no vaccine that can stop this virus, the only thing we've come up with is hand sanitizer and soap, and that's the safety valve. He's like, seriously? So there are some crazy things happening because we're all washing our hands to the point where we're down to the blood veins now. Yeah, what do we do to shift our mindset out of, I hope this gets over soon because I'm bored?
Well, again, hindsight is 2020. So I'll be very excited to get to the hindsight part of the timeline so we know what this was about.
Yeah, and if you remember, we're in a 9-year century cycle about learning to enjoy each other and help each other and be humanitarians. And so this one's kind of a wake-up call. And I was looking at the numbers of this. Our country was founded on freedom, and right now we don't seem to have a lot of that. And just this morning we were talking about, well, what was July 4th, 1776, when we proclaimed this is our country and that freedom is our bottom line, that's what we want. And that adds up to a 5, and the 5 energy in numerology says freedom is what we want. So the energy of freedom is, I think, the root of what is the problem right now. And then I was looking at 2020, and anytime you have zeros using the numerology practice, those are little portals where God steps in and kind of influences our behavior and tries to wake us up. And we got 2 of those little circles this year. And so God's on double duty, trying to get us to wake up without wiping us off the planet. The thing that's important to realize, we also have 2 twos in there. And the 2s are about relationships and patience. So I see the first 2 in 2020 is about building a relationship with ourselves. That's the self-awareness we're talking about this week. We're kind of all running on autopilot. There's so many deadlines, so many to-dos that we've accepted into our life. We now realize, since we don't have a lot of to-dos, maybe all of that was just to keep us busy. And it's going to be really important to have some self-awareness going on this week. In my forecast for April, I talked about some ideal days for that. And actually Monday and Wednesday are 2 really good days. It's the 20th and the 22nd, because you got 2s in there. So if you can carve out 20, 30 minutes or an hour and do some self-awareness, I guess self-awareness is a big topic. And like, what do I want? Who am I? What's my give back? Not too many people talk about that. And of course, all the work that Lori and I do are about who are you? And if you know who you are, then you'll know what to do. So this is a big tipping point for us, 2020. And if we can't adjust our mindset to look at how do we find freedom now, how do we learn to enjoy each other? How do we shift our attitude from, I hope this is going to be over soon, into, I'm going to do everything I can to make this day as good as I can, and tomorrow even better.
Right. And you and Lori Palm have a class that you teach, the Core Passion Intentional, that really digs into that for every year and what that frequency is. When you're looking at intention and gratitude as 2 really powerful forces,
yeah,
you throw in the mindset. Can you talk a little bit about how the energy moves when you've got intention and mindset and passion all pulling in the same direction?
Sure. And by the way, we've been doing this class for about 10 years, and we do it live, and you're part of it. And I think you're probably one of the original founders with us. because of the crisis and moving into digital, we are not so frustrated with, geez, I don't think this class is ever going to come together again. We're going to, with your guidance, take this digital so that we can help more people find their way. So to get back to your question, think of your intention as you're out with a target and you have a bow and arrow. The intention is to get whatever you want in the bullseye. So your bullseye is your intention. And if your intention is something you want to create or develop, think of it as a dream or a wish that you don't know how it's going to happen, but you really would like it to happen. That's how we start with our intentions. Then the arrow is the energy that's going to head towards that intention, but the energy comes from you. So think of it as you're sending out an energy arrow to attach to the target, your dream, and then that energy starts coming back to you because you've hit the target. And when it comes back to you, that's a reaction based upon your passion, your feelings, the energy that we have within us. We have one of the most powerful sources of creating our reality is accessing our feelings. And a lot of people don't think that's such an important deal. And unless you're with somebody you really care about, well, I'm not going to say anything about my feelings, but feelings are a great tool to magnetize your future to you. So we use the feeling words, what it would feel like if you had your dream come true. And if you can identify those, all of a sudden you start to see some changes, and that can shift your mindset.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I have seen this happen over and over again. Yes, I've taken the class, and when you are so focused, you've got your bullseye and all your arrows are getting close to that bullseye, all of a sudden what you've asked for, it happens sooner than you thought, of course in a different way, but it's right there. And I find too that I'm so grateful that it happened, you know, because I asked, but I'm also grateful because of, you know, the way it happened. And I had to really take that leap of faith that I could trust that it could happen. So for me, trust goes right on my mindset bookshelf. That's right there.
Yes. So one of the things that does is get you to believe that you can actually create your reality. And that's why the people come every year. So again, if you want to know the scientific reason why that magic happens, watch those Gaia videos on for Joe Dispenza. He spent years healing himself from being told he'd never walk again to running around acting just like he's a spring chicken.
I will put a link on the blog page for this episode with the Gaia information and Joe Dispenza's series.
Yes, and one of the things that I'm a member of Gaia, I think it's like $12 a month or something. So if you do want to watch it, you're gonna have to pay $12 a month. One thing that I can do is share a couple of, probably one, maybe two, videos with as many people as I want. So if people want to send in their email, I can send that link to them right from the Joe Dispenza, and you don't have to pay for it. You'll get to see it and see if it's worth what you want to pay.
Well, you know, people are running short on shows to watch. So it sounds like Gaia TV is a whole nother wealth of things they may not have seen yet.
There's hundreds, maybe thousands now of videos on there talking about what is this world about. It's probably one of the biggest self-awareness channels with professional videos that I've ever seen.
Nice. Well, there you go. For people who their way to relax is, you know, watching media, this would be a way to get their self-awareness quota in
Right.
along with their watching so they can
Yeah,
kind of gently guide themselves until they're ready for meditation.
exactly. Exactly. So meditation is one of the things that's very important for any of us to find ourselves.
Mhm.
So if you're going to take a look at your mindset, it's important to find out who you are. Um, if you're fortunate enough to know some people that you could actually ask, what do you believe my mindset is? And then instead of arguing with them, just write down some of those things. Unless they really give you some really good positive feedback, just listen. Because what you want to do is if you have opinions, my sister, love her dearly, everyone that knows her says she's very opinionated. And she just knows she's right. That's all. So,
Yes, but I bet you have an exercise that we can do to help us really open our inner vision to what is on our mindset bookshelf.
well, I've got a little 4-minute meditation, not 4 minutes, 4-part meditation. Some call it the box meditation. Some call it the self-awareness meditation. It's a breathing exercise, very simple to do. You can do it within a minute, minute and a half of your time. So we could do that if you want. Take
Yes,
a
please.
moment. Okay. So get quiet. Settle yourself down. Become aware that you're sitting in a chair. And then start becoming aware of your breath. You're breathing in. You're breathing out. In and out. And now I'm going to ask you to follow a pattern of breathing. I want you to breathe into the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold that breath for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly release that breath to a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't breathe for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, breathe. So one of the fun things of that when I working with somebody, I ask them which one of those 4-part breathing exercise was the most challenging for you. Did you have one that was less fun or more challenging?
I was trying to get myself to not keep breathing in when I was supposed to be holding the breath I had just brought in.
Okay.
So it was kind of going back and forth a little bit. And then when I breathed out again, it started calming down. And then
Okay.
holding without breath was easier than holding in breath.
Well, one of the fun things I like about that exercise is it gives us a self-awareness of ourselves. So the breathing in exercise is your ability to receive. So if you can breathe in to the count of 5, you're in pretty good shape of allowing things to come into your life. The holding it breath, if that's a challenge for you, that's about patience.
Okay, Wes, you got me there.
Yeah. So if that was the tricky part of this exercise, your self-awareness is you may need to work on patience in your life. The breathing out exercise to the count of 5 is about letting go of things. And if you could really breathe out and feel comfortable to the count of 5, you're okay with letting go of some things that have been bothering you, that frustrate you, that sort of thing. The last part seems to be the trickiest for most people that I've worked with. That's where you don't breathe for the count of 5. And that one is about faith. if you can hold your breath that long without breathing, do you have faith that you will be able to breathe in? Do you have faith that God is walking side of you? Those kind of things. So it's a fun little self-awareness exercise. And maybe you can put those steps down in the
Yes, I will
part. Yeah.
put those 4 steps into the blog article.
Yeah.
And let people know where to find it.
Yep. Let's see if there's anything.
And also the gratitude journal page I have, I'll put that in.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. And you have made a fun little gratitude page. It's about yummy things or something. You had ice cream or candy or something.
That's the intention page.
Oh.
The gratitude page is the big rose with the pretty mosaic stained glass behind it.
Okay.
So that you write down things you're grateful for, and you take note of the smiles that you have and that you have helped others find.
Okay. So those are available for downloads. How are they going to get those?
Yes, that's part of signing up for the newsletter. And then in the newsletter, there are links to download.
Okay. So if we can take this week and put the word trust up on your calendar or on your refrigerator or the mirror in the morning. Trust that you really do have a mindset. Trust that you're creative enough to explore that mindset. Trust that if you change it to a more optimistic, positive mindset, that you won't get into trouble. You'll still be safe. And then the tricky part is, if you do shift it, can you actually use it and live into it? So those are the parts, the discover part, the believe part, the create part, and then the live part. That's our process for integrating change into your life.
Wow. And it all starts with self-awareness.
Self-awareness is the big one. At least this month, this week, we got to be self-aware of our mindset. There's a lot of other things about self-awareness, about our health and about our relationships. But mindset probably is the thread that we use to address those other areas of our life.
Right. Got to get the door open before you can go through.
Right. Yes. So anything else that we should share this week? Or
well, one of the pieces I've seen pop up is people are getting angry.
Oh.
And I'm kind of going, all right, where did that come from? You know, because we all had, I thought, chilled out, but no. And it could be, you know, when I look at it, could be a part of grief, of mourning, you know, what we're letting go of, what we and we have to get into acceptance, but we're not there yet.
Yeah. There's been a lot of things I've been researching on the internet. Many people are just tired right now. Lori, for instance, oh my God, she said, I have no energy. I know I got a bunch of things to do. I have no energy. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to watch Gaia or Netflix. I've gone through my 3rd novel, but she has no energy to do anything. And several psychologists and psychiatrists have been following on the internet. They say this is a natural reaction to where we are. And you are right, grief. We're in grief. And then Lori lost her parents over the last 6 months of 2019. So that was grief that had not been processed. And now she's in that energy of processing that, plus having to stay home. So yeah, a lot of people are dealing with the grief and anger. I know I was talking to a friend the other day and I said, okay, I'm tired of playing this game. I want to do something new. The sun's out. I want to really go out and play golf. And then my wish came true. Governor Walz says, I can go play golf. So,
well, you know what? I saw someone, I live in the uptown area. And of course, you know, we have these big dumpsters and everybody gets rid of stuff. There was a set of golf clubs. Someone gave up on golf. Just said, that's it. It's never going to happen again.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And guess what? We just might get out there. I'm more of the Frisbee golf camp, where one Frisbee gets me around the whole course.
Yeah, well, that doesn't happen with golf balls. You need a box of them.
Yes, you do. And they're special. Each one's a little bit different.
Frisbees or the golf balls?
The golf balls are a little bit different. They're kind of cool, but Frisbees, they have a lot more to do with environment. Wind will mess with your Frisbee like nothing else.
I like it when my dog chases my Frisbee. My dog left a long time ago, but that was a fun part. She loved chasing the Frisbee.
She was smaller though. Could she actually catch one?
Oh gosh, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, just think how many dogs are now deployed to help all of us cheer up. I would say Frisbee time will be happening soon.
Yeah, there's so many, as we talked about last week. So many more dogs walking the neighborhood, walking their new owners.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of walking turning into drags.
Yeah,
I guess they haven't quite figured this out yet. They haven't gotten into step just yet.
there's some new groups or couples walking in our neighborhood, and they've got 2, sometimes 3 dogs, and the leashes are all twisted up, and the dogs are going 3 different ways. And okay, they've got a new mindset about walking dogs. It's a challenge.
Well, we don't come out of the gate knowing how to do it. This is the fun part. We get to discover and say, all right, I was here and this was just kind of a mess, but look at how far I've gone, and I can trust that I'm going to get better at this.
Yeah.
And I think, with your breathing exercise, so we can say, oh, that's the part I need to work on.
Yeah.
So in my 4-shelf mindset of receiving and patience, letting go, and faith, for those 4 shelves, I know which one I need to clean up a little bit.
Yes. So we've got those 4, and then we've got realizing your personal development is on the shelf this time too.
Yes.
And your gratitude. Be grateful for what you do have. At least we're alive.
You can always do something from that point.
Yeah.
No matter what.
As long as we're above the ground, it should be a good day.
Yes, I agree with that one. And I believe really that I have hope from all of this, because I can make positive changes by simply breathing.
Yeah.
Everybody can do that.
I questioned your title of your podcast when you first came out with it, because we didn't have a crisis, but you're kind of a future thinker. So you kind of knew that we needed a title like that.
Yes, everybody needs hope and everybody needs positive change.
Yes. All right. Well, that's what I've got for this week, unless you've got something else.
Nope, that's excellent. I will have the freebies posted in the newsletter and notes on what we talked about. And it all is up on Sunday, which is the 19th.
Yep.
And I wish everyone a great week 16.
Yeah. And the 20th and the 22nd are big mindset days.
Nice. I think I will go for a walk around the lake with my mindset.
Good. Enjoy.
Thank you, Wes.
Bye.
You have been listening to the I See Hope podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. Visit us online at iseehope.world, where you can subscribe to our podcast, our newsletter, read blog articles, and so much more.